So we have to put things in action. So I would like to share, your university is a place where the university is trying to put these things into action. You are a part of it. You can become more a part of it. You should become more a part of it. You should have this purpose in your life. So what are we doing? Which are just, as I would say, they are baby steps, but they are an indication of our intent. So we established Inter-University Consortium on Climate Change and Sustainable Development, of which nearly 100 institutions are now a part. And we are trying to create a synergy between all people working on different aspects of climate change, whether in natural sciences or applied sciences or computational modeling or whichever, or social sciences, the social impact of climate change, or agricultural sciences, so they can synergize their effort, because the challenge of climate change is a challenge of a vast scale. Single human being or a single group or a small group will not be able to meet it. It will require efforts at a massive scale and a collaboration and working for several generations. As the order has been disturbed significantly in several generations, so it may take effort of several generations to restore that. So we are trying to create synergy, we are working on that. In our university, we introduced in every bachelor's degree program curriculum a basic course, a 3-credit-hour course, which every student will study, no matter which degree or program he or she opts for, on environment and agriculture. So the whole natural world, the environment, how it is structured and how it is being impacted by climate change, every student understands that, and how our food production processes are being severely affected by these changes in the climate, and how our very existence, as has been pointed out, is under threat. So we introduced that course. Also, in our university for last 2.5 years, we have been undertaking the Green University project, or Green Campus project, in which we are not only monitoring our resource usage and our impact on climate, whether our use of fuel is concerned, our use of energy is concerned, our use of water resources is concerned. We are not only metering and monitoring them, but trying to stop wastages therein, trying to bring efficiencies therein. And that Green Campus project has submitted several reports, and we are making progress towards that. So, as it says, that practice what you preach, that's one thing, and actions speak louder than words. So I would stop here. I would appreciate once again the Seerat Chair and the Faculty of Islamic Learning to have organized this year's Seerat Conference on a topic which is a major challenge to humanity, and in which I think that the motivational force of Islam as a force of setting priorities and purpose of life and purpose of society, and setting priorities correct, will be very useful to learn from the wisdom of the Quran and the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I appreciate the Seerat Conference, and I request every student here to take up this as the purpose of their life, to be inspired by their original contract and become an agent of positive change. And it's an inclusive world. The Islamic concept of a world is not where everyone looks and behaves exactly the same way. If you look at the original Islamic societies and those Islamic societies which were superpowers of their times, there are dozens of them. If you look at them, in most cases you will find that Muslims themselves were in a minority in those scenarios, from early Islam till even our own subcontinent. But They were inspired by the Islamic ideals, which were inclusive and pluralistic in nature, which believed in the principle of live and let live. It is not the Islamic principle of elimination of the other of the different. In fact, the Islamic principle is live and let live. And the judgment is by the Creator. Never will our disputes, if we just focus on our differences, will be solved by ourselves in our own lifetimes. This theme is very much repetitive in the Quran. If you talk about some of the themes which the Quran is very much consistent in, that the differences that people have will not be resolved. Instead, we should work on the common ground, how we can make it better for each and every one, and please the Lord by fulfilling His will. So this is my message, and I'm very much thankful for being given this honor to speak today. Thank you very much.